All right, Shalom. Want to say call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there fighting, doing this work with truth and sincerity. Back here again with a quick lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect men out there that are listening and watching these videos. I got this video from Elder Apostle around live this morning and shared it with the brother Jim in Arkansas as well. And I had some scriptures in mind when I saw this clip from the brother page, Arrows of Indignation 1442. Go there, subscribe, and get edified. And when you listen to this video, it's basically countries that are allies with this country want to turn against this place. Well, they're going to turn against them, man. You know? So when I listened to it, when I talked to the brother Arkansas, GMS Arkansas, you call, he brought out, because he go do the same video as well, he brought out Obadiah 1 and 7, and it just added to the scriptures the Spirit had me to write down about the pride of this devil and how this man allies are going to turn against him, which is going to lead to their downfall. This is Obadiah 1 and 7. All men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in the NLT. All your allies will turn against you, right? They're going to turn against you, which is going to lead to your downfall. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know it. You won't even know about it, because the pride of Edom and this nation has blinded them. And they're thinking that their allies are going to go all the way out with them. No, they're going to turn against you. And that's what this man was saying up here in this video, man. So they're pretending to go along with you, right? But they're going to betray you. So on the surface is peace, but underneath is deception. Like I say, they will promise you peace right here in the NLT while plotting to deceive and destroy you, man. Because the earth is tired and sick and tired of you in rulership, man. And all these things is happening because of biblical prophecy. So there's a clock, right? There's a clock that the time is running out on this place in the rulership, man. Just like all the other ancient kingdoms that was on the clock and that clock ran out. Well, there's no difference than these nations today, as you see what's going on today, because our Lord Yahweh Shai has to come back and rule, man. You know, heaven on earth, the kingdom of heaven, man. That's why it's important for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to awake out of sleep and detach from this place spiritually. Because if you don't understand what's taking place and this going to catch you off guard, you'll lose your mind out here, man. But nonetheless, the people that you have close relationships with are deceiving you. So on the surface, I'm talking about right here, Obadiah 1 and 7. On the surface, it speaks peace. But underneath, they're laying a trap for you, man, because they're sick and tired of you, man. So it's all a setup against you. So, one, you're going to have false alliances. Two, you're going to have hidden betrayal. Three, your pride is blinding you from everything, man. You're lying on your media about the war over there with Iran and Israel doing all these things. And, you know, it's a lot of stuff coming out and people are sick and tired of you, man. You know, and other nations don't want to deal with you anymore. So I'm going to play this off the brother page that I got from Elder Apostle and Ron Lob, Arrows of Indignation 1442.
40 nations are currently in talks to basically cut the United States, because of Donald Trump, out of global trade. There are 195 recognized nations/countries on planet Earth. 195. 40 of them, led by Canada, banding together to just cut out the United States. So more than 1/5 of the planet working on a way to not have to deal with the United States anymore.
See, the betrayal is happening, man. Your allies turning against you, man. And that's going to lead to your downfall, which goes here to Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. That's Yahweh, right? Because it's capitalized. So Babylon in the Hebrew is Babal, meaning confusion. So this place is a world of confusion. Look at how the men and women are dressing and look how they're acting. Look at the fruit cups, you see, if you know what I mean. So Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So you have a golden cup in your hand. That's going to, because the value of gold is higher, right? So that symbolizes wealth, the splendor, and the influence. So Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand all the time of its inception. The wealth, the splendor, the influence. So Babylon was a pagan. The ancient Babylon was a pagan power back then. And now look at it today. Look at the pagans. Look at the idolatry that's here in this, on this land as well. The imagery of idolatry, man. You see? So there's a cup in the Lord's hand. He's been watching that cup the whole time because he's the one that established you Edomites, that blessing when you go back to the book of Genesis. He gave you the sword, and the sword means to cut. You cutting life, you cutting off your allies. You just a child with a sword with no training at the end of the day. So Babylon had been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. So this place here in America serves as a tool for judgment, basically. The nations also were influenced by your imperial policies, man. That's why the nations are mad. You see? Man, hold on. This my do not disturb it to come on, then it'll pound. Shit is weird, man, but whatever. But nonetheless, the nations are mad, and you have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. You see? The nations have drunken earth her wine, therefore the nations are mad, man. So the nations were influenced by your imperial policies and idolatry, which what led the nations to madness. So by them trusting in your democracy and your philosophy, these countries have lost their strength, wisdom, and reasoning, man. But now they're starting to come to their senses because of what's going on in the Middle East right now. And then you have these alternative media show pages where people is coming out saying, making jokes of the small hats, saying that they're not going to fight for the small hats. It's a lot that's going on right now, man, spiritually. You see? Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. The Lord has not taken his eye off this place. But you people are blinded by the God of this world. Really, the God of this world has blinded the minds of the people. So therefore, you drunken off the philosophies of this world, the status quo of this world, and you don't see this happening right before your eyes, man. But the men of the Lord, whom the Lord gave the spirit unto, the spiritual eye salve, to see these things and to be able to go into the scriptures and break these things down to you. Your other so-called Israelite groups are not breaking things down. Yeah, they're telling you that you're Israelites and keep the law. You only can keep the law to the best of your ability, but they're not going into prophecy. You see? There's a clear distinction between who's telling you the truth and who's out here lollygagging at the end of the day. So this place in this rulership and those that are in rulership are not going because they thinking AI is what's going to lead them to forever ruling, man. That's not the case. The Lord has set bounds for this place to start, and there's a finishing point, and it's going to lead with destruction. This is written in the scriptures, but your preachers and your pastors don't take to these things because they've been paid off and they went to these higher learning of so-called institutions here, theologian schools, to break the Bible down to you, man. But they're wearing suits, no beards on their face. The Bible don't say wear no suit. The Bible said wear a garment with fringes on it. Also grow your beard out if you can grow your beard. So this place had decreed unrighteous decrees upon the Lord's people and everyone here. Everyone have the same rights, the same sex rights, all this nonsense. So now the nations are mad, man. Play a little bit more.
This includes our neighbors to the north, Canada, our neighbors to the south, Mexico. This includes the European Union and the United Kingdom. This includes major Asian countries like Japan. According to these reports, and again, this is kind of all being, spearheaded by Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, what they're trying to do is avoid all of the tariffs that Donald Trump has put in place on everybody. And then, of course, they have typically had to do reciprocal tariffs, so everything for them gets more expensive because they're dealing with the United States. So all of these nations have gotten together and said, wow, dealing with the United States is expensive and it's costing us business. How do we get around that? And their solution is, well, what if we all just trade with each other and not these idiots?
See, they want to exclude this country out of trading because when they drunk the wine, meaning their philosophy and their way of doing things, they realize it's not benefiting them in the long run in their country, man. You see? So now they like, look, let's get together and trade amongst each other at the end of the day. So your allies are turning against you, man. This could lead to your downfall. See, these nations are, again, pretending to go along with you, but on the surface, yeah, it's peace. But underneath that surface is deception, man, and plotting and planning to get rid of you. You see?
And that is currently what they're working on. So instead of relying on the U.S. market to sell their goods, they're going to just start selling to each other and open up new markets that previously hadn't been there.
Wow.
They will grow. They will expand. They will see this financial boom from doing business and trading with everybody in this new coalition. And we, those of us here in the United States, will lose everything.
Because this place is destined. This all going to biblical prophecy, man. This place was established on blood and it's going out with blood, man. That's in the book of Numbers. So we're not saying anything that's not written in the scriptures. Everything is prophetic. And social media, the people that's on social media and these alternative news stations, they looking at like, what's going on biblically? Because they know something ain't right, man. Because this place has an ending date. We don't know the date. Only Yahweh, whom the world so ignorantly calls so-called God, knows it, man. Through his son Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai don't even know, but he's waiting. And when Yahweh Shai get the go-ahead, him and Yahweh Shai and the holy angels are coming, man. So it's best to get right while the Lord is extending his mercy unto you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Job 38:11. And said, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further. And here shall thy proud waves be stayed. So your proud waves that you have, you Edomites, must be stopped. So look, the Lord set boundaries for Edom and a rulership that is timed. It's on the clock. The Lord set boundaries, man. So you can't go past the limits that was set. So you want to use AI to go past your limits and on rulership. It's not written for you to do that. Job 38:11. And said, hitherto shalt thou come here to this place and rule, but no further. Read the book of Revelations 4:11. This was established real quick. Revelations 4:11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. This place was created for the pleasures of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to put the Israelites into captivity here, to show us not to be going off anymore. The Lord's going to free us from this captivity because of all this wickedness that has been established in the bloodshed on this land here of the Israelites, man, and still continue to do it to this day. So this place was created, again, O Lord, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, man. And for thy pleasure they are and were created. You see, to please Yahweh by Shema Shai, man. Real quick over here back in Job 38 and 11. And said, Hitherto shalt thou come, but no further. And here shall thou proud waves be stayed, man. So there's a time limit and boundaries has set for this rulership, this place to thrive. And it's on a ticking clock. So right here in the book of Job 14 and 5, it reads, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. In NLT, you have decided the length of our lives. You know, talking about Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh knows the time, man. You have decided the length of our lives. You know how many months we live, and we are not given a minute longer. This place is not going a minute longer than it's supposed to. You see? So why do you think everything is happening on the planet? You can get the book of 2nd Ezra 6. And why? Because the things that we speak in, meaning the words, which is prophecy, is making things to tremble on the planet Earth, roughly paraphrasing. It's causing things to shake and move, man. The Bible said the words of the Lord doesn't go out void. And this is all biblical prophecy, and these other groups out here not even teaching you about these things and warning you of these things, man. But they want to sell bug out bags. Now, you use wisdom because prices of oil and gas is going up. Gas is going up. So if you go get a few bag of rice here and there to stock up, do that. That's using wisdom, man. Because pretty soon people going to be looting. People going to be doing gas runs. Watch. People going to start doing gas runs, man. Because the prices are continuing to go up. Hyperinflation, man. So right here, Job 20 and 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desire. In the NLT, you see what that says. They were always greedy and never satisfied. See, nothing remains of all the things they dreamed about. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. Belly talking about his mind. Why? Because the men of the Lord, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim Abishai, was allowed to stand upon their feet and was given the spirit of truth to go into the scriptures. Remember, they spent thousands and hundreds of millions of dollars to suppress this information from these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but they never counted the spirit of us waking up out of sleep. Even not Jim Jones, the dude that wrote that slavery letter. I forget his face, man. Willie Lynch. Roughly paraphrasing, it was going to take a miracle for these people to wake up, but they didn't include the Holy Spirit, man. So now they have standing upon their feet. Now they like, man, how these guys do what they. So now they want to come down on the men of the Lord. So he don't feel any ease in his mind, man, because of prophecy. Let's real quick get this word quietness. Strong 7961. At ease. You see, he don't have any ease because the prophets are out there. What's this that's in the book of Revelation? I forget what it is. How to stand upon their feet, because it's the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem and Habashah that's controlling everything and allowing us to give you this information spiritually, man. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, because everyone is speaking out now. Even this guy right here playing this video, man. He shall not save of that which he desired. He desired to have continued rulership to put the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the whole world in captivity, living in the AI world. He gonna get to a certain point, and that's gonna be that. Because the Lord has to come get his people, the elect of his people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You see, so now what's happening right here in the book of is it 2nd Thessalonians? And the world is starting to see it. 2nd Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. That's what's happening right now. whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth by his prophets that he sent out, man, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, man. Yahweh Shai coming back with the angels, man. So this is what's happening in the NLT. The man of lawlessness will be revealed. And you see it happening now. Look what's happening in the Middle East. And so on, the Epstein files, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things coming out. But the Lord Yahweh Shai will kill him with the breath of his mouth, because it's happening spiritually now. Beginning with the apostles and the elders and the bishops, the men on down, told you what you was about to do from Yahweh Bahashim Shai, man, because it's written in the Holy Scriptures. And people trying to scramble and find out what's going on biblically, you got to come to the prophets of the Lord, whom he sent out to go out on the highways and byways, man. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahweh Shai will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. Yahweh Shai come back in the chariots with the angels, man. Every knee shall bow at the end of the day. You will see Yahweh Shai's chariot, man, in the other chariots around him, which is the angels.
Oh, sure, we'll still have to buy their goods because we depend upon them, and Trump will still have the tariffs, so we'll still pay a higher cost for that. But our goods here in the United States that are already having a hard time selling overseas, just ask any farmer, we will lose those markets. Farmers who are already facing financial ruin, which is exactly what they told Congress about 3 weeks ago, they're going to go under. They will lose everything. Manufacturing here in the United States will go extinct virtually. Because sure, we'll still need to make some things to sell to us here in America, but we're not going to have other countries coming to us knocking on our door saying, hey, can we buy all this stuff from you? Foreign companies that have invested in the United States, or at least pledged, as Trump says, they'll pull out. They'll go with their new trading partners. Right. They'll move their plants to Canada. Maybe they'll move them to Japan or Europe or anywhere else in Asia or perhaps Mexico. The United States, if this coalition does, do what they're hoping to be able to do.
You see? And this gook, whoever he is, he be going in too right there, man. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, this place is destined for destruction because of the wickedness and the idolatry and the witchcraft and the sorcery that goes on here, along with and among other things. So at the end of the day, Isaiah 34:5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, meaning his rulership, the top elite families that run this place, man. And the sword represents the missiles that Yahweh Bahashim Habashai set up. What back then it was called a blacksmith that created weapons and forged weapons and swords. Now you have your scientists. So he put the spirit upon these men to create these weapons, but it's the indignation of the Lord, man, that allowing this to take place. To allowing these scientists to come and build these things, man. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. It shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom. I thought the Edomites were done away with. And the people in that land over there, I thought they were the Lord's people too. If they were the Lord's people, why is this war still going on over there? And also, when the Lord come back and save his people out of that land, you people need to start listening to the prophets, man, that the Lord set before you, beginning with Great Millstone, the apostles and the bishops and the men on down, man. And those that's not in GMS, but teaching the same doctrine of GMS that's coming in the same spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment, man. You see, you can get that in the Old Testament about the curse. You see, so the Lord has always been watching this man in rulership, that golden cup. He was going to get into rulership, have allies that was going to turn against each other. They go pretend to get along with him, but underneath it is betrayal and going on. Those that they have close relationships with. So it's all set up against this place, man. You will have false alliances, hidden betrayal, And your pride has got you blinded to where the point you don't even see it, man. So your boundaries has been set, and you're not going to go past those limits. Therefore, your days are determined. And at the end all be all, the Lord Yahweh sent his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, to free the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans with the angels, the elect of the nation of Israel. So Lord willing, I hope this was edifying. Until the next time, I shall say, Shalom.